Well, she's a former cop who's using her knowledge of the law for no good and leaving behind dozens of people who've been ripped off and owed hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Can you explain to us why you haven't paid the rent?
I wish we had known what sort of people they were, because they're scum. She's a parasite.
Lisa's right here. Would you like to explain to her why you haven't paid the rent?
Off camera.
You've been ordered to leave the property in the last 4 months. Why haven't you left the property?
She's an ex-police officer and she knows the law back to front. She's told me that she will use the law as it can be used.
To get away with not paying rent and staying on your property?
Yep.
How do you sleep at night treating people this way? Donna Amory is a former cop with a habit of not paying her bills, both personally and as a director of companies with her husband, Gary. Their latest victims, Howard and Lisa Batty.
I'm being fair to this woman. She's just a lowlife. She just...
Wreaked havoc on you.
She has. She just can't keep getting away with it. That's what I'm saying.
We're going to open this up. Let's have a look.
Lisa and Howard have been trying to get Donna Amory and her husband Gary out of this warehouse they've been renting to them for 4 months. They've locked them out, but they say the Amorys keep breaking in and changing the locks.
They don't have a lease, no. There's not been a lease exchanged.
So how would you describe what they're doing here?
They're squatting. They're squatting here, and it seems to be that they're running their business at my expense.
Can you tell us why you haven't paid your rent and why you won't get out of the property there at the factory?
Where?
It's the warehouse you're renting from Lisa and Howard. Howard says an agent recommended the Amorys as tenants and they let them in. Now he says they owe him $5,000 in rent and refused to leave.
I asked her to leave and her words, the exact words were, "Come and F and get me out, you dog."
Charming.
Beautiful.
There's two sides to every story, mate. Well, and you've already spoken to the solicitor, so...
Well, the side we know is that you haven't paid the rent, mate.
Well, you listen to whatever you want to listen to.
Lisa and Howard aren't the only landlords saying the Amorys haven't been paying their rent. We spoke to a former landlord of Gary and Donna's who told us he's owed $24,000 in unpaid rent and property damage. What's worse, we have a list of 30 other businesses here in North Queensland who also say the Amorys owe them money. Now, some of these companies have actually gone to court and got judgments against the Amorys, ordering them to pay, and yet these people tell us they haven't received a cent.
I think it's disgusting and unfair, and I don't think people get punished enough for it, basically.
Darren Gardner says the Amorys company rented equipment from him and never paid for it, even though a magistrate ordered them to.
I can't believe how they get away with it. I don't know how you can fix that, but it's just not right.
I'd like my 14.5 grand back, Gary, if you're watching.
Michael Holding says his company has written off the money the Amorys owe him, even though it hurt him personally.
I'm only a worker here. I get paid a salary, and unfortunately part of my salary is performance-based, so I lost a fair percentage of the 14 grand came out of my money as well.
Do you have any intention of paying that money? How do you guys sleep at night, owing all this sort of money? Come on, Donna, how do you sleep at night? What kind of person does this, Donna?
I even sent her letters saying, you pay me something per week, make a regular instalment, at least I know you're trying. Not ignore my phone calls, not ignore my emails.
Craig Stevens says Donna Amory adjusted horses on his property and within a short period made excuses as to why she couldn't pay.
Everyone tries to do the right thing. I love to help people out. I think everybody likes that good nature about people, but I think these people really like to screw other people for the good nature.
Hey, Donna, you owe us the money.
Down the road at the local produce store, owner John Payne says Donna Amory owes him $2,500 for horse feed.
It's about time you got real with life and paid your bloody bills.
To be honest, it's wishful thinking. I think I'd have a better chance of picking the lotto numbers than getting payment from them.
Mate, we do intend paying the money, and there's a lot bigger story to this than you know.
What we do know is Donna Amory worked as an auxiliary cop in the Northern Territory, and that before authorities stripped Gary Amory of his building licence, the couple were running a cabinet-making business from the Batty's warehouse. But now Howard and Lisa don't believe they'll ever see the rent they say they're owed.
Pretty deplorable, they've worked at this, they've aimed at leaving us empty-handed, and we now have to sell the building. We can't afford to keep it any longer.
They're a piece of work. They really are.
We know of at least 25 people that you owe money to. They've even got court judgments against you and you haven't paid the money back.
Wait, find out the other side of the story.
Well, you tell us the story, Gary. That's why we're here.
And there are others who claim the Amorys or one of their companies owe them money. They include former employees, a law firm and a local council. If you've had any dealings with them, let us know.